Okay, so hey everybody, welcome back to the LuckyDog podcast. This is your host, Elias Roush. This podcast is sponsored by LiceRoushMedia.com, photo, video, digital media production. Please go YouTube, SoundCloud, go to Apple iTunes, go to your favorite podcast provider that you're listening to on the Apple, on the podcast. Rate us 5 stars. We're trying to get on Rotten Tomatoes. We want to get monetized on YouTube. Over 1,000 followers is required to have monetization powers on YouTube. So we are about a little over a third of the way there. But every subscription, and they're free, helps on YouTube. So be sure to go there. Twitch, you'll be able to watch live. Go to all your favorite social medias, all in the description. We are now on SoundCloud as well. So just wanted to clarify that for everybody that's like, what platforms are you on? So we are discussing episode 9, Look for the Light, directed by Ali Abbasi, written by Craig Mazin and Neil Druckmann. We have everything that we've been leading up to for the past 9 weeks, I believe is 9. Yeah, 9 weeks. It's all coming to a head now. And like I said earlier, we're live streaming on Twitch, and we are going to cover this in a slight non-spoiler section for the whole season. Of everybody who was like, people that opted out of not watching it, they're like, should we watch it? Absolutely, you should watch this. And then we're going to discuss this in the spoiler section of discussing this entire show in spoiler section, not from the video game perspective, mostly because I haven't played it yet, although I have downloaded it. So yeah, non-spoiler section for this first episode, or sorry, for this first season, is this is some high level water television. It's cinematic showcasing at its best. It is a little bit of a rug pull by saying it's an apocalyptic zombie esque television show. I'd say apocalyptic zombie-esque is more of like the third tier of what it is. It's really a character study of individuals that are having to, endure and survive. And so with saying all that, I really enjoyed this show. The HBO did an excellent job at kind of gearing it in a direction that is opposite that of The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead kind of did the exact opposite of what this is doing. I feel like this show has an excellent, from the cast to the directing to the pacing of it, the 9 week structure of the week to week breakdown, and being able to interact and hang out with everybody and listen to the other podcasts and other theories and where this could be going. Is it kind of like the video game? Is it not like the video game? Is the structure of it has been wonderful, from having that week to week Sunday night thing to attend, and the water cooler show. I really enjoy it. I don't feel like we've had that in a long time since, obviously House of the Dragon, White Lotus to an extent, but it didn't capture this quite of an audience. So I think season 3 of White Lotus is probably going to be pretty huge in the same way that the House of the Dragon and the Last of Us has been. So we are going to continue on with the review. Like I said, I'd watch the season. Is the ending as strong as the beginning? I think that could be up to debate. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to try to compare it to the video game at all. Oh, it should have been this. Oh, it should have been that. I wish it would have been, playing Monday morning quarterback. But woulda, coulda, shoulda, woulda, we could play that all day. What we're going to try to do to the best of our ability is, what happened on screen is what we're going to discuss. So, like I said, check out the season. You're going to be incredibly surprised by how rich and character focused it is if you have not seen the season. Now, let's hop into this final episode. In the spoiler section, I expect you to have watched all of the 9 episodes. Of course, you're going to get a condensed review unless you're watching live or on Patreon. So patreon.com/LuckyDog podcast, you'll have the full review. Be sure to check out that. And so we are going to discuss The Last of Us episode 9 in full spoiler section. Let me go through the synopsis of this episode and we'll kind of break it down. So it begins. As she gives birth to Ellie, Anna is bitten by an infected. which she kills. It's a badass fucking scene. I don't think I off to my knowledge, it's been a very long time, or if I've ever seen it, I don't recall it. Having a pregnant woman having to endure and survive in an apocalypse against not like a multi herd of zombies, but like one, and then actually having a baby while it's going down. Like, holy shit! Like, this is some craziness. I thought it was bold. The actress apparently that is playing Anna is the real life voice of Ellie in the video game, which I thought was badass. And my God, they look almost like sisters. Bella Ramsey and that actress. I don't have Ashley Johnson, I believe. And so I liked this opening. I thought this opening for this episode was very effective. I was not expecting anything of this nature. Um, I would say that this opening of the episode, this scene is the strongest scene for me through the rest of the episode. My I'm not sure if it's a hot take, but I really feel like this episode and this this to the finale of this incredible season is pretty good, but not 100% there for me personally. Like, some people are going to love it. Some people are going to say it's not like the video game. Some people might say it's exactly like the video game. And then other people are going to say might be a slight diversion from the character focus that I thought we were watching. Now, when we get to this episode, they've gone through some trauma, all of, let me continue on real quick. Uh, so Anna is bitten by an infected, which she kills badass. Like, she's like, and so kills it with the butterfly knife, I believe that, or the knife that Ellie is later given. Kind of like, here's the lightsaber. She is found. Anna is found by Marlene, who hesitantly takes Ellie and kills Anna. And she's like, close the baby's ears. The dude's like, wait, what? And he's like, bam! It's like, oh my Lanta, could you not have like waited a second so that you can close the baby's ears? Did literally nothing to hold that baby, hold baby Ellie's ears like fine. So she's probably like ringing still. Anyways, my my initial take on the Marlene character is she needed about a whole nother episode. I think they probably should have carved out a little bit more of an episode for Marlene to have some real um pathos with Ellie. There's not much of a mother-daughter relationship between the two, and it seems that she was there at the beginning. And for her to make the decision that she's like, yeah, we can just put her to sleep. We're just going to open up her brain. We're going to do the whole procedure. And she may be okay. She may not be okay, is pretty fucking cold for a character like Marlene. And I'm like, I don't think I know her well enough to really care about her. So when Joel is going fucking Batman around the whole hospital, but they're playing sad music, it's like a juxtaposition of like, I understand that Marlene is making a difficult decision, but we are so in the camp of Joel that, and we want Ellie to live. I think that it's a little bit like having your cake and eating it too, kind of thing. I think is that the quote? I don't know. Whatever the euphemism is or whatever. Um yeah, I think this last episode is a little bit rushed. I think we need another 15 minutes with Ellie and Marlene on some sort of journey. I know that I said we're not going to play Monday morning quarterback, but I think that's what this episode is missing, the empathy that we normally have with this character of Marlene. Um Again, it's the same voice actress that was in the game. She's playing her actual self. So let me continue on. In the present, Firefly soldiers capture Ellie and knock Joel unconscious. After Joel awakens in a hospital, Marlene explains doctors are preparing Ellie for surgery to produce a cure. But the procedure will kill her. And there's no asking Ellie of any of this. There's no consent in this. There's probably a strong possibility she would have agreed to do it because she's very, very much of the mindset of like, I can save people, even down to when Sam and Henry, that episode. Um, but she's a little bit more naive about it, and so I think Joel is just trying to take it into his own hands about what's going to happen. So, yeah, Fireflies capture Ellie and Joel, knock them unconscious. Da, 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 they explain the cure. Will kill her. Marlene orders Joel to be taken away. However, he fights back and kills most of the soldiers and the lead surgeon. So, like I said earlier, this is. I don't really know how exactly to describe it without saying it feels like it's too fast. There's yeah, Marlene even gives the choice of Joel just getting out of here, just saying, "We'll take you to a bridge with no gun, just a knife." Um, you should have just killed him. If you're going to plan on being this cold to Ellie, then I think that Joel probably would have been taken out immediately. There's parts of um, this episode that feel either slow or rushed in ways that I feel like maybe having a full hour could have given us a little bit more time with these characters to understand the motivations. The Fireflies are so one dimension by this time that I don't really feel sad for the people being taken out. So, and they're like nameless henchmen. So, I think it would have been different if it was like the group that Tommy was with and Joel was having to rage against a group or someone that he really cared about. But like, we don't know Marlene. We don't know her game. We don't have much of a connection, in my opinion, with the Marlene and the Fireflies for when Joel just goes straight Batman on him. That for me, emotionally didn't hit. And I think that mostly has to do with not having any resonance with Marlene, even though she had to make the difficult decision to be there at the beginning to kill Anna. So Joel finds Ellie and leaves. And I gotta say, the Joel feels like he has plot armor at this time. He's shooting everyone. Boom, bang, boom. He doesn't even have to like sit back to watch a shot miss him or something like that. I think he just straight goes. He goes full aggro in, and he plays like how I do, like Fortnite or Call of Duty or something like that. You just push in on the person until they don't want to engage, and they start running and freaking out and stuff like that. He just went boom, 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 boom. I was like, okay, so we're just gonna have that, and I know the action in this entire series has been kind of not. I wouldn't say uh, realistic, but it's been kind of played down to be like, yeah, this is pretty depraved, don't you think? And to an extent, I'm like, yeah, but I just want someone to kind of go off and be okay going off. Don't have to play the sad music. I know Joel is Joel Hinge, a little unhinged and whatnot. So I'm kind of the mindset like just give him a break, just we've gone 9 weeks of pretty depraved shit. We've lost his daughter, we've lost the civilization. The lady in the cold open, the scientist that like episode 2 or 3 was like, yep, we're all fucked, we're gonna have to bomb the place. It's like, this is quick decision making. So that's kind of my 2 cents on Joel's kind of quick reaction versus the Fireflies versus just the, I don't want to say plot contrivances, but I just feel like it's super quick about what's happening. And so, and a little bit, I could tell that I could kind of feel like where this is going almost immediately. And it almost felt because of how short the episode was. I was like, oh gosh. As soon as the Fireflies were introduced, uh, throwing the smoke grenade and stuff like that, I was like, or the flashbang. I was like, yeah, these guys are not going to be good. And then you look at the henchmen, they look scruffy. They're pushing Joel around. Marlene's not nice anymore. It's like, there's just things about this episode that I feel like they could have smoothed out. Most of this season has been very in the gray. No one's either too bad or too good. There's this 50 shades of gray in the middle of these personality traits, and I feel like Marlene and the Fireflies were so in the camp of bad that we should have just been like, all right, Joel can do it. We just saw Joel go off in the last episode. He'll go off again. Don't mess with him. He just got this daughter figure surrogate. So why are you going to mess with him right now? So continuing on, if Joel's going to be that big of a problem to the group, then they should have just taken him out, or I guess made that a little bit more specific. I don't know. I was a little bit just like, uh, I think anticlimactic was one of the best words I could kind of say to this of Joel going off. There wasn't like a second that I didn't think Joel was going to go through the hospital and just kill everybody. I the entire time, mostly because it's all people we didn't know. We don't care about them. They haven't been uh, rich characters drawn out through the season, or even at the beginning of the season, to really root for, in my opinion. I wonder if these would be individuals that we care for more if we were playing the game, had a little bit more depth, had some more hours behind it, possibly. But that's kind of my 2 cents on this last episode. It's not like they didn't stick the landing. I very much feel like this whole season has been consistent with not giving us what we want. And the way this ends feels like a very much not giving us what we want. Although the entire season feels like a will they, won't they have this father daughter connection and be on the same page and be open and honest with each other. And by the end of the season, it's like you have that opportunity and they decide to opt out of it. It's like, son of a, it's like you've been through so much and now you decide to lie. It's like, I kind of wish he would have just told Ellie at the very end. So let's continue on and do it. So Joel finds Ellie, leaves the hospital. Marlene intercepts them. And again, Ellie is drugged up the whole time while Joel is going through the hospital. Bang, bang, bang. Shoots the doctor. Why you shoot another doctor? God dang it. In the apocalypse. What are you doing? Shoots the doctor, although he's like, you ain't going to get her for nothing. He's like, blam. And so I think he saves the other 3 nurses or doctors, whatever. And he takes Ellie. He's going through the car garage. And Marlene's like, you ain't gonna get out of here alive. And so he's like, yeah, you're right. And so they for some reason have like the flash of it's Marlene and Joel while Joel's carrying Ellie, and then it flashes to all of a sudden Joel and Ellie are in the car. It's like, all right, what the fuck happened to Marlene? I didn't understand what the purpose was to kind of go back and forth about what really happened. It's like he's telling Ellie what's happening and he's thinking about what really happened. And obviously he's lying the entire time. But for me, I'm like, I'm not exactly sure it was in character for him to be lying. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. So I would be curious to hear what everyone chat and YouTube and all the other platforms are thinking about. Continuing on, Marlene intercepts him, stating there is still time to find a cure, but Joel shoots and kills her. When Ellie wakes up, Joel lies and tells her that the Fireflies had some other immune people and were unable to create a cure. I think that's a bit of a broad lie that I definitely think she's not going to believe. She's smarter than that, but I hate that he's having to lie to her for this. As they hike to Jackson, Ellie expresses survivor's guilt. She insists she insists Joel swear his story about the Fireflies is true. Like she's already creating doubt right there. If she has that doubt at all, I feel like she needs to probe him a little bit more instead of just saying that. Like, where are these other immune people? There's probably what were the methods like that? There was just a lot of follow-up questions. Normally, I would have felt like this episode would have had so many, like this entire season, I feel like it's been like telling and saying things that are in my head, and the writers were always like one step ahead thinking about what the audience was already thinking. All right, the audience is definitely going to have Ellie second guessing. Ellie's definitely going to be doing this, that, and the other. It's always been smarter than that. And for some reason, I felt like they brought it back. They were like, Ellie's not going to do what the audience is thinking this time. We're just going to kind of verbally show it or non-verbally show it. So she insists Joel swear his story about the Fireflies is true. She verbally accepts his words. So it cuts to black, or it's a fade to black, one or the other, but it's pretty quick. Like I said, I think I've kind of expressed my polarizing feeling of this last episode. The entire season has been nearly perfect. In this last episode, I'd be curious to see how close it is to the video game. Once we play through it, we'll be able to know a little bit better. So, yeah, be sure to check out the Twitch channel. We'll be streaming there. And let me know what you thought about The Last of Us review. Of course, we are streaming live on twitch.tv/LuckyDog Podcast. You can check out all of the links of the social medias in the description of the podcast, and you can go to the social medias on LuckyDogPodcast.com. You can listen to full reviews of podcasts on patreon.com/LuckyDog You'll be able to hit us up with the 5 stars on Apple iTunes, do the Spotify, do the YouTubes, whatever platform you're listening to, SoundCloud. Give us ratings, the reviews, the likes, the reposts, the follows, the subscriptions. There's so many fucking things you got to do with these days. Just do it. Support it. You know what to do. Support local creators that push out some great content. So again, let me know how to improve the podcast. Let me know what you think about The Last of Us Season 1, Episode 9. Do we have thoughts about the next season? I know there's a whole subsection of people that know what's going to happen for The Last of Us 2 because they've played the game. I think there's a bit of a time hop. That's all I know. And yeah, I'm just excited to watch it. I guess, maybe they'll go back and hang out with Tommy, but nothing can ever be the status quo. I will say this subverted my expectations by not killing Joel or having, about 10 times as many zombies. I didn't necessarily, I've heard some criticism of saying, where are all those zombies at? It's like by episode 8 or 9, by episode 8, I think you would have realized that this show is clearly not interested in having tons and tons of zombies. This is not that show. You want zombies, go to The Walking Dead and watch them kill about 1,000 zombies 1,000 times in 1,000 episodes. So this is a character study that I think does a hell of a good job. The ending is a little bit polarizing for me. But I'm sure some people are going to love it. Some people are going to have mixed feelings about it. Everyone's going to be all across the wall, depending on what's what. Again, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, take it easy.